Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the LCN. This is their part number 4040XP-3077 SCNS. So it's a 4040XP or 4041 series closer arm. It's a 3077S spring CNS, cushion and stop, spring cushion stop. This is a cush arm that has a spring function to it, so that when the arm gets extended to the point, it will help cushion via that spring the door closer main arm, so that the closer or the door doesn't hyperextend. And while this arm is certainly no replacement for a dead stop type of hardware, an auxiliary overhead mounted door stop, it is a arm that will substantially help arrest the wild action of a door when it gets out, to the back check area. So this arm, and this is what it looks like. You've got this arm, and what you'll notice is there's a little different feature on the parallel arm bracket portion here. Okay. The additional parts are going to be the block, the spring, and the bolt. And you'll get your screw package. That'll be your typical screw package for the screws that will go in the parallel arm. But these are the parts that make it different. And you'll notice that the arm is identified R&L, and that's where you're going to install this based on the swing of the door. It's left hand or right hand, so if you've got a left hand reverse door, you'll be going on the right hand side. The closer arm will include installation instructions, and the spring cush area is referred to really in just, of all of the data, page 1 and page 2. It's only referred to in, 20% of the entire amount of paperwork. There is, let's just go through the installation instructions. You're going to follow the same templating as you would for the cush arm, okay? And that's going to be on the front of the unit. So when you get your order, this client ordered a 4040 XP closer, and they ordered an extra SCNS arm, a 3077 SCNS arm, which means they're going to use that closer, but not with the arm that's templated. You've got to refer to the cush arm part of the installation instructions when it comes to, and I've not compared how this relates to, and I can tell you that the dimensional properties where you install the closer body with a cush arm are not identical to where you would install it with a parallel arm installation on a tri-packed 4040 XP. So you're going to refer to the cush installation instructions in terms of where to locate that. And talking about the installation of a parallel arm mount type closer won't be covered in this video. But it is covered in the 4040 XP video. So the installation instructions tell us use the cush template. Okay. When replacing a cush arm, use the existing mounting holes. So if you're going from a cush arm to a spring cushion stop arm, use the same holes, you're okay. However, there is an asterisk and some bold letters that say, see note 4 in step 1 on the front page. Note 4 is this odd reference to something that is not really ever noted. It basically says, using the screws provided, secure closer to door. But there are two steps, there are two parts in step 4. Step 1, it says, screw in valve on back of closer. Then it says, using the screws provided to secure the closer to the door. Well, that valve on the back of the closer is something that's generally ignored, but that's the back check selector valve. You will turn that clockwise and close the valve down when you are doing a parallel arm mount, whether it be just a tri-packed, PA bracket, or it be a cush or a cushion stop or a hold open EDA, that sort of thing. Because of the geometries of how a parallel arm closer mounted system works, you want the back check, assuming this is an outswing door, right? You want the back check to function correctly. Closing that valve down forces fluid within the raceways of the cast iron body to properly arrive at the back check valve internally at a proper time, given the amount of rotation on the spindle as the closer goes into its opening cycle. So if you're doing this installation, close that valve. Turn it down is just the moral of that story. It will, you don't need to do it in a top jam or a regular arm mount though, however. Attach the shoe to the frame using the templating. Completing the installation using the cush arm on the main installation instructions. Getting to the spring style, the spring portion, spring cush dead stop will occur approximately 5 degrees beyond the normal 40-41 dead stop point. Back check is not to be reduced when using this arm. The spring cush does not replace the back check. They are used in conjunction with each other. Nor is this arm really considered a dead stop arm, although it's not considered a dead stop, but it sure is a powerful ally in getting that door to arrest and safely stop. So basically all that you do with the block is slide your spring down into it. Okay. Your bolt's going to go in. That's all. 5/32 Allen wrench. It should be included with your hardware. And all we're going to do is demonstrate it by installing it. 5/32 Allen wrench. We're going to thread that down. And they were saying to crank it down all the way. For purposes of this video, I simply won't thread it down all the way. But you can see that when your arm is going to make contact with that portion, that block will continue to move a bit, but it's held in place by the bolt, which is onto the parallel arm bracket, so the spring will compress. And I'm not going to be able to compress that at all to demonstrate it. But you do get the impression when you squeeze it with both hands that it will move. And that's the purpose of this sort of arm. Okay? That's how this is going to work. And I sell this type of arm to people, well, you'll see it specified, but I sell this type of arm to people who really must arrest the door properly so that it doesn't harm a user, which is crucial. And it's best that's what you sometimes find is people have a 4-foot door on the exterior loading dock door of a condo building, and it seems to me it's only a matter of time before that door gets hyperextended, and then what they do is go and put a crash chain on it, which is not a real solution, because a crash chain is not going to safely arrest the hyperaction of a door that's been captured by a gust of wind or a user. It's really not... the hardware's just not up to the task. The screws that secure it to the door aren't up to the task. And in a lot of instances, it's literally too late to install an overhead stop because the door's not been reinforced for it, and the door's not been prepped for it, and no one can do any of that work. So, you've got a door closer on the door, right? Let's talk about throwing a piece of hardware onto the door, a spring cushion stop that will substantially work towards the mutual goal of controlling the door. And that's really what this is for. And then, of course, you can do this in a hold-open version as well. Same condo building dock door, you might want a hold-open version on moving day. So there's nothing else really mentioned here. The only secret was that back check valve on the back of the closer. And finally, I wanted to just say that I'm quite partial to LCN. and it's because I believe fully in the quality of the product. The availability of the product is ubiquitous. It's easy to get your hands on this stuff. It's generally always kept in stock. And the support of their technical service department is in the top tier of best available in the industry. If you have any questions on the 4040 XP 3077S CNS spring cushion stop style parallel arm or any other LCN product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.